Kelsey Zeiser, Senior Editor at Light Reading, and we're here at Mobile World Congress Americas in San Francisco. And I'm joined by Shrikant Chinwai with the Wireless Broadband Alliance. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me here.
Sure. So the wireless industry has seen a lot of change this year, and with that in mind, what are some of WBA's strategies in 2017, and what are your goals moving into 2018?
So WBA, as you would know, is Wireless Broadband Alliance, and we work specifically on unlicensed technologies like Wi-Fi. So some of the big things that we were focused on, in fact, have been always focused on, but more so this year, have been taking Wi-Fi from the legacy Wi-Fi to next generation Wi-Fi. And in fact, at this Congress, when you hear in Mobile World Congress, what you will see is a Wi-Fi network, which is next generation Wi-Fi enabled. What that means is you have ability to connect to the network almost like cellular experience, where you switch on a device. If the carrier has provisioned the profile, you get connected automatically. So that's something big that we have done. And in addition to that, we've worked on connected cities, and also something which is sort of important to us is the urban unconnected, and how do you get the people who are unconnected connected.
And what impact will 5G have on Wi-Fi networks, and how can Wi-Fi enablers prepare for the emergence of 5G?
That's a good question. I get asked that question very often. I think the good thing is Wi-Fi is here to stay, regardless of how 5G evolves and when it finally becomes a reality, because Wi-Fi is so mainstream. Plus, the Wi-Fi itself has a very robust roadmap of how it's going to evolve from here. Having said that, I think the 5G, for the first time, we are looking at the mobile industry not treating the next generation of network as just a single radio technology that will be changing their way of looking at next generation. It's a multi-access technology. And we believe as part of that, licensed and unlicensed technologies will have a role to play, and Wi-Fi in particular as an unlicensed technology will have a significant role to play within the 5G framework.
Okay, and the multitude of 5G use cases require a variety of radio technologies. What role will Wi-Fi play in 5G deployments, and can you share some use cases and business opportunities there?
Sure, and I think it's not limited again to 5G, but Wi-Fi has been good at several things, including the fact that it supports things like neutral host capability. What that means is in a particular venue when you have network, or a network, that network could be shared by multiple service providers. So instead of trying to have one network for one operator and trying to do multiple of those, the network can be shared. Now that's a capability that enables several use cases indoor, especially in the environment where there is high density requirements to connect people. We'll continue to see Wi-Fi play a significant role in high density type of venues. We'll continue to see Wi-Fi play a role in again, IoT, for example, because again, Wi-Fi is available everywhere. Lots of IoT devices do support Wi-Fi. So we'll continue to see support for those sort of use cases and scenarios in the 5G era using Wi-Fi as well.
And in 2018, the first 5G standards will be finalized and deployments will follow. And what role will the WBA have as operators develop their plans for 5G?
Very important, and it's sort of continuation of what we have been doing in the 3GPP ecosystem or with the 3GPP ecosystem. We'll continue to progress that. So for example, how do you make sure when you have Wi-Fi and other technologies working together, issues like identity management, for example, those will be universally required regardless of whether you're connecting people on one radio type or other radio type. So there is harmonization to be done to support identity across different type of networks. There is work to be done on authentication, trying to make sure you're not trying to reinvent the wheel with new type of authentication methods for SIM-based devices as well as non-SIM devices. So those are sort of areas where we think WBA could play a significant role as we have been doing so far. And going beyond that would be in the areas like roaming, which again is one thing that WBA has supported all along.
And earlier you mentioned connected cities. What are some of the challenges that smart cities face? And if you could tell us a little bit about the Connected City Advisory Board and also the World Wi-Fi Day.
So Connected City Advisory Board is a board that has been set up within WBA about 2 or 3 years ago. It's a high-level, CIO-level representatives from around the world, about 30, 35 cities, in New York, San Francisco, Barcelona, Dublin, Moscow, and others. What this group does is essentially looks at, before the city can be smart, you need to be connected. So how do you look at the connectivity blueprint that is required to power the smart city vision for city? What are the critical enablers? Not just the technology part, even the models around how do you do public-private partnerships? How do you handle things like access to sites which are required for deploying networks? And that situation will become a lot more complex going forward, where you have a lot more type of networks, small cell, Wi-Fi, low power wide area technology networks, all to be somehow deployed. So how do you help the stakeholders come together to use those real estate assets in a much more effective way, in a way that serves everyone's purpose? So WBA is doing work in those sort of areas as well to help the industry make the right sort of move forward, but also have the ecosystem come together and support things in the right way.
Well, thanks so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Pleasure. Thank you for inviting me here.